you see a smile. That smile comes at just the right moment. It's warm, close, and persuasive. You feel safe instantly. A gentle hug, as if to comfort. A soft gaze, full of understanding. Words spoken gently, perfectly timed. Then everything fades away. A sense of emptiness spreads. No screams. No grand evidence. Just a stretch of silence. That silence leaves you stunned. You wonder why you're hurting. You think you've been betrayed. But it's not an enemy who betrayed you. Not someone who meant to harm. You were betrayed by softness. By what's called well-timed kindness. Society taught you this. They said kindness protects you. They said sincerity brings safety. You were trained to believe it. From childhood, you were praised. You learned to hold back to earn praise. You learned to give to be accepted. You carried that lesson your whole life. But there's another truth. The world doesn't reward gentleness. People respond to self-interest. They stay for convenience. They leave when the benefits run dry. They take advantage when you're predictable. Kindness becomes a vulnerability. A smile can be bait. A hug can be a trap. A gaze can be a map. You handed that map to someone else. You showed them the way into your heart. And when they leave, you're left confused. This isn't an accusation. This is a clear-eyed warning. You don't need to become cruel. You need to learn to see the truth. You need to distinguish between the good and the exploitative. The simple question now is this: have you ever lost because you trusted too quickly? Comment below. Part 1. Analyzing the silent wound. A wound that doesn't scream. It quietly erodes you, like water dripping on stone. Each drop is a moment of being overlooked. Each moment drains you further. The image is simple but clear. A cup of tea had gone cold on the table. A house empty of laughter. A message marked as read. No reply, no explanation. Small details pile up. They don't create a gaping wound. No bruises, no broken bones. Just a sense of emptiness. You wake up with less energy. You speak less each week. You withdraw during conversations. You adjust your behavior to avoid conflict. You start to hold back because it's familiar. You give more to keep the peace. You believe this is maturity. You're praised for your patience. They call it being grown up. But the reality is different. Unconditional patience wears you down. The erosion doesn't need proof. It only needs time and habit. The people around you like it. They see you as a safe harbor. They come when they need, leave when they're done. They feel no regret. You're left to mend. But the wound is hard to heal. Because you've learned to stay silent too. You judge your pain as normal. You even praise yourself for enduring. That's why others keep going. They don't see you as a boundary. They see you as an opportunity. The erosion grows daily. You pay less attention to your feelings. You forget your inner voice. You trade yourself to keep the peace. But that peace is a trap. It quietly saps your energy. Do you notice it? Have you realized you're being worn down? Part 2. The silent battlefield. Not self-help, but strategy. This isn't a healing video. This is a strategic guide. Not to comfort you, but to teach you how to stand tall. There's a silent battlefield. We call it the silent battlefield. It has no cannons or shouts. It has small, repeated responses. It's the times you hold back instead of speaking out. It's the times you justify to avoid conflict. It's the times you accept empty promises. You learn to stay silent for peace. You pay with the parts of yourself you lose. In this battlefield, action is the only way. Action doesn't need to be loud. Action is adjusting boundaries. Action is deliberate withdrawal. Action is responding with weight. Manipulators play a different game. They use gentleness as a weapon. They observe your reactions. They test your boundaries bit by bit. They withhold warmth as a reward. They give when you're valuable. They leave when you're no longer convenient. The war doesn't need a clear enemy. The enemy is the habits you carry. The enemy is the belief that silence is a virtue. To win, you don't need to hate. You need a plan. A plan for meaningful silence. A plan for a presence that matters. Start by observing habits. Note the times you hold back out of fear. Count the times you endure without speaking. See the repeating pattern. When you see the pattern, you gain the power to intervene. Intervention isn't a loud argument. Intervention is a change in behavior. Intervention is setting conditions for your help. Intervention is teaching others your limits. That's strategy, not cruelty. You don't need to hurt others. You need to stop letting them use you. Think of a clock ticking slowly. Each minute is a silent challenge. Whoever endures longer gets exploited. Don't let yourself be the experiment. Take back the rhythm of your life. If you've ever wondered why manipulators always win, watch this video. Part 3. The root cause. You were trained to comply. You were taught to be agreeable from a young age. Parents smiled when you shared your toys. Teachers praised you for following instructions. Adults rewarded silence over truth. Good behavior became a safe currency. You learned that pleasing others was survival. Praise etched habits into you. Repetition made compliance automatic. Being approachable made people comfortable. It also made you predictable. Controllers prefer those who don't resist. They choose people who are easy to steer. From the playground to the workplace, you adapted. Saying yes was easier than saying no. You were applauded for not causing trouble. People called it maturity. But that reward hit a cost. The cost showed up as exhaustion. You quietly gave up your boundaries. Each concession taught others that your boundaries were soft. They learned to demand more. Requests grew from small to large. You adjusted to keep the peace at all costs. The world optimized around your gentleness. The role you carried became clearer. You became the one they relied on by default. That default status was convenient for others. Convenience turned into entitlement over time. They stopped seeing you as a person. They saw you as a resource to use. Your kindness became a tool in their hands. They rarely meant to cause obvious harm. Often, the exploitation came in gentle forms. A well-timed smile could be leveraged. A shared confidence could become a means of control. You handed them the key to your heart. Once inside, they rearranged freely. You were trained, not born this way. Realizing this is the first step to breaking free. Pay attention to the times you automatically say yes. Practice saying no in small situations first. Watch how they react to your new boundaries. Their discomfort reveals the old imbalance. Reclaiming your choice changes how they treat you. Start with small steps to shift the game. Part 4. The Machiavellian Principle, modern version. Machiavelli saw people realistically. He said actions often follow self-interest. He didn't champion morality unless it served a purpose. In the real world, kind intentions often lose. People don't act for what's right. They act for what benefits them. This isn't a case for cruelty. It's an observation of human nature. You can be loved for being accommodating. You can be respected for having weight. Love is a soft, fleeting emotion. Respect is a response based on boundaries. People love you when you make them feel comfortable. People respect you when you hold firm standards. In work, this is clear. An employee who always takes on tasks is loved. An employee with skill and boundaries is respected. Bosses use the complaint for tasks. Bosses hesitate before someone whose integrity can't be bought. In relationships, the pattern repeats. You're loved if you don't inconvenience them. You're respected if you know your worth. Imagine two people in an office. Person A always agrees to extra work. Person B sets clear limits and demands fairness. Person A is liked by colleagues for being easygoing. Person B is respected for maintaining work standards. Over time, Person A burns out. Person B advances, trusted and valued. In personal life, a similar picture emerges. You share everything early with someone new. They feel secure and take too much. Or you keep something for yourself. Others can't manipulate you easily. Machiavelli didn't urge cruelty. He urged understanding the rules of the game. When you understand, you decide how to exist. You can choose to be loved or to be respected. You can also find a way to have both. What do you think? Should you choose to be loved or respected? Part 5. Illustrating the mechanism when transparency becomes a map for others. When you pour out your heart, you hand others a map. That map shows you your weaknesses. They no longer need to search for a path. They just follow the route you've drawn. Transparency too early is a gift that can be used to control you. Imagine a compass in their hands. Its needle points straight to your vulnerabilities. Each time you reveal, the compass updates its position. They gauge how you'll react. They predict how you'll behave. And when they predict, they control. Transparency turns you into an open book. Whoever reads it knows how to manipulate you. Transparency isn't bad, but it needs limits. You need a private reserve for yourself. That reserve is the part you don't share. It's where you keep your plans and fears. It's where you hold your inner strength. When you keep that reserve, you don't hand over the map. Others only see your surface. They guess but aren't certain. That uncertainty makes them cautious. Caution reduces their ability to manipulate. You become unpredictable, harder to control. Everyday examples make this clear. You share your career plans on day one. Your boss knows your weaknesses and uses them to push you. You reveal your hurts too soon to someone new. They use it to make you feel indebted. You lay out your boundaries too early. Others step over them with ease. Instead, hold back some information. Give yourself the power to control the pace. Make others prove they deserve to know. Ask questions before sharing deeply. Who deserves a piece of your heart? Who has proven they respect those boundaries? When you protect your reserve, you protect your value. Value isn't something given freely. It emerges when you keep a part for yourself. A simple practice is an exercise. Practice not answering sensitive questions right away. Practice responding with a short, dignified reply. Practice keeping some topics private. Observe how others react to your silence. Who respects that you don't share immediately? Who demands that you open up constantly? Those who respect you will be patient and honor your limits. Those who demand will seek to exploit your information. The map is safer with those you choose. A private reserve isn't deceit. It's a way to keep power for yourself. You don't need to make others trust everything. You just need to know when to speak. And when you know, you're no longer an easy target. Part 6. 6 fundamental mistakes of the good person. The first mistake is confusing agreeability with strategy. You think being pleasant is safe. You assume avoiding conflict is wise. A small example is always saying yes. You take on extra work without questioning. The consequence is you're gradually exploited. Many rely on your readiness. Your value diminishes over time. The sign is that you're often tired. You rarely set clear boundaries. You think more than you act firmly. The second mistake is apologizing automatically. You say sorry at the slightest friction. You feel at fault even when you're not. An example is apologizing for a loud tone, or saying sorry when you can't help someone. The consequence is that you give away the power to judge. Others learn to make you feel guilty. You become easily controlled by guilt. The sign says apologies come quickly. You explain more than necessary. You try to soothe instead of holding boundaries. The third mistake is accepting every excuse. You give others too many chances. You believe they'll change naturally. An example is forgiving repeatedly after apologies. You accept the same old patterns again. The consequence is that they repeat bad behavior. They learn it's allowed with you. You lose credibility in your boundaries. The sign is promises without action. You're easily lured back to the same spot. Each mistake is a worn path. You cross it without noticing. Each step makes you more manipulable. Recognizing the mistake is the first step to change. Try keeping a journal this week. Note when you say yes but want to refuse. Note when you apologize undeservedly. Note when you accept empty promises. After a week, look at the behavior pattern. Choose one mistake to start fixing. A small change today will make a big difference. Which mistake do you see in yourself? The fourth mistake is sharing too soon. You open up at the first meeting. You share every wound and plan. You believe transparency builds a quick connection. In reality, others remember that information. They use it to manipulate your emotions. Sharing early costs you leverage. You become an open book to strangers. The sign is that you share details right away. You feel relieved but vulnerable to exploitation. The fifth mistake is living for others. You adjust your behavior to make them comfortable. You measure your worth by giving. You prioritize others' needs over your own. You agree to every invitation to avoid losing relationships. The result is that you forget your own needs. Your value erodes over time. Others get used to your willingness. They use you as a constant resource. The sign is feeling empty after helping. The sixth mistake is limitless patience. You believe persistence will change people. You give more chances without setting consequences. They test boundaries, and you still endure. Your patience becomes a margin for abuse. Without limits, they don't fear losing you. They act as if everything is allowed. The sign is that you keep forgiving without change. The Machiavellian perspective is different. It's selective, not cold. You set conditions for giving. You decide when helping is reasonable. You make your value finite. When help has conditions, it carries weight. Others learn not to see you as a default. They start respecting those boundaries. The give and take chart is clear. The giving axis tips if you give unconditionally. The receiving axis shrinks when you don't set limits. Balance only comes when you establish boundaries. A small practice helps change habits. This week, don't share a big secret. Politely decline a small request. Set a boundary and hold it firm. Observe who respects your decision. Those who complain reveal they seek advantage. These mistakes aren't bad nature. Their behaviors are taught and reinforced. Recognizing them is the first step to fixing them. Which of these three mistakes do you see in yourself? Part 7. The wound and the notion of silent strength. Silence takes many forms. There's silence from enduring. There's silence from strategy. Enduring silence is a reflex. It stems from fear and habit. You stay silent to avoid conflict. You stay silent to not be disliked. This silence wears you down. It doesn't create real change. It hides wounds rather than healing them. Others continue behaving as before. No consequences teach them otherwise. And you keep paying a quiet price. In contrast, strategic silence is selective. It has a clear purpose and a time limit. You stay silent to observe reactions. You use silence to test boundaries. Strategic silence rebalances power. It's not about evading responsibility. It's about applying energy with intent. The cost of enduring silence is high. You lose your inner voice bit by bit. You lose sight of your true needs. You become less responsive to life. Many relationships turn one-sided. You learn to accept unfairness. The respect you receive dwindles. But strategic silence makes a difference. It forces others to reflect on themselves. It creates space for them to confront. It gives you time to choose your response. It turns silence into a weighty tool. Don't confuse the two types. Knowing the difference is a crucial step. Try a small experiment to test it. Next time you're pressed to explain, stay silent. Set a goal to observe reactions for 24 hours. Note the behaviors you see afterward. Who tries to control you with emotions? Who respects your choice not to share? Who reacts by withdrawing or changing the approach? After a week, review the results you noted. You'll see a clear difference. Silence can heal when used correctly. But silence isn't a tool for every moment. Learn to use it with purpose. If you want, try it and share the results. Part 8. The redefinition of fear. From fearing dislike to fearing the loss of self. Fear takes many shapes. Most make you react automatically. You fear losing others' affection. You fear being labeled as bad. You fear isolation in your community. And that fear drives your behavior. You hold back the truth to preserve relationships. You stay silent to avoid criticism. You accept losses to maintain your image. But there's a more important fear. The fear of losing yourself, bit by bit. Losing yourself isn't loud. It's small changes each day. You give in once, then again. Each time you shrink a little. In the end, you no longer recognize yourself. We need to redefine fear. Instead of worrying about being disliked, worry about losing yourself. Fearing the loss of self means preserving your inner voice. Fearing the loss of self means not sacrificing boundaries. To illustrate, here's a short story. The character's name is Min. Min is likable at work. Min always takes on extra tasks when things get tough. Colleagues know Min will handle everything. Min is praised, but also exploited. Min fears saying no, afraid of losing friends. One day, Min takes on an after-hours project. Min's family suffers because of it. Min still agrees, fearing being seen as lazy. Slowly, Min loses time for themselves. Small joys are gradually forgotten. Min doesn't notice how much they've changed. A friend asks if Min is still okay. Min is surprised, remembering they once loved life. That question is a moment of awakening. Min starts resetting priorities. Min practices saying no to unreasonable requests. The initial reaction is judgment. Colleagues say Min's attitude has changed. The family wonders why Min seems distant. But in the end, Min feels lighter. Min isn't disliked as much as imagined. Some relationships fade, but many become healthier. Choice can make others uncomfortable. Being judged is the price of self-ownership. You must accept it to preserve yourself. Self-ownership isn't free or instantly safe, but it restores the voice and dignity you lost. Consider which fear you follow. Do you fear being disliked or losing yourself? Part 9. If you want respect, learn to make yourself unpredictable. Reducing sharing is the first step to becoming unpredictable. You don't need to reveal every plan right away. Keep some information to yourself. When you share less, others have to guess. Guessing creates caution in them. Caution reduces their motive to exploit. Increase your value when you show up. When you appear, carry weight. Don't show up just to fill a void. Show up when you bring value. Value can be time or effort, or the expertise you offer. When you appear with purpose, you're respected. Set clear boundaries and hold them firm. Boundaries signal your dignity. Saying no protects your resources. No need for long explanations when refusing. A short sentence is enough to maintain order. The first behavior example is responding deliberately. Answering immediately gives away your time. Deliberate responses show you have a schedule. Sometimes replying late is a tactic. Replying late doesn't mean rudeness. It signals you're not always available. Others will think twice before making demands. The second behavior example is setting conditions before helping. You don't need to do everything for free. Define conditions when offering help. Setting conditions increases the value of your actions. It forces others to think before asking. The third behavior example is keeping topics private. Don't share sensitive issues too soon. Less information makes others work to get it. When they want to understand you, they must try harder. Effort makes them value the result more. Small weekly practices will change habits. This week, don't share a big plan with someone new. This week, don't reply to messages instantly. This week, set a condition before offering help. Observe how those around you react to your changes. Those who respect your new habits will be patient. Those who complain reveal the benefits they seek. Write down 3 boundaries you want to keep. Apply each boundary for a week. Note how you feel after each practice. You'll see your self-worth shift gradually. Being unpredictable can bring freedom, but unpredictability still maintains dignity and fairness. You don't need to freeze your emotions. You just need to control the pace and degree of sharing. When you're less predictable, you're less manipulated. Respect comes from how you give. You give less, but with more meaning. Start with small steps today. Part 10. The art of using silence as a tool. Silence can be a powerful tool. It's not meant to punish. It's a way to adjust the rhythm of relationships. Silence controls the timing of dialogue. It gives you time to think. It forces others to face their behavior. When you're silent, they must fill the void. That void often makes them reflect. Silence reduces immediate emotional pressure. It prevents you from reacting hastily. Silence carries weight when it has purpose. Using silence is a skill to practice. Here are 4 simple steps to practice. Step 1. Identify triggers in the situation. Note the phrases that make you want to react instantly. Pinpoint the emotions that arise then. Knowing your weak points helps you prepare. Step 2. Set a goal for your silence. Decide the purpose of staying silent. Do you want to observe or withdraw? Write a short goal before staying silent. Step 3. Observe the other person's reaction. Note what they do when you're silent. Do they try to fill the void or pull back? Do they attempt to fix or continue as before? Observing helps you gather insights. Step 4. Decide on the next action. Based on their reaction, choose your next step. You can respond briefly with wait. You can withdraw until things are clear. You can set a boundary in writing. Notes on using purposeful silence. Don't use silence to manipulate emotions. Don't use silence as a form of revenge. The goal is to clarify the boundaries you need. Practical examples to try now. When blamed, stay silent for 30 seconds before responding. Observe if they persist or calm down. When someone asks too much, reply after a few hours. When someone repeats a mistake, note it and respond later. Keep a daily journal of your experiences. Write down the triggers and reactions you observe. Evaluate the results after a week of trying. You'll see who truly respects your boundaries. Silence becomes effective when intentional. It doesn't make you less human. It only rebalances power. You use time to make wiser decisions. Which step will you try? Part 11. The skill of invisibility. Unpredictable but not deceptive. Being unpredictable doesn't mean being deceptive. Being unpredictable is guarding your privacy. It doesn't require lying or hiding. It's about not revealing everything. You keep plans within a small circle. Others see you, but don't know all of you. That's the key difference. Deception is saying what you don't mean. Being unpredictable is not saying what you don't need to. Being unpredictable is choosing what to share. It protects your energy and position. When you're reserved, others must approach actively. They can't manipulate with ready information. They must prove their worth to know more. That increases the effort they must give. Effort makes them value the outcome more. Look at how to respond politely, but reservedly. For example, instead of long explanations, keep it short. A clear sentence is enough to maintain dignity. Sample response 1. I'll think about it and get back to you. Sample response 2. I need time to consider. Sample response 3. Thanks, I'll review it. Sample response 4. I'm not ready to share right now. Sample response 5. I prefer to keep that private. These sentences aren't rude. They're polite and maintain distance. They don't give more information than needed. They protect your private reserve. When pressed to explain, use short sentences. Short sentences keep you from falling into traps. Avoid using emotions as long excuses. Avoid sharing details to gain sympathy. You don't owe anyone a map to your inner self. You only owe respect in communication. Being unpredictable is also the art of showing up. When you appear, do so with purpose. Don't show up just to avoid losing status. Show up when you truly contribute. Keep a schedule and don't reply instantly. Set boundaries on communication time. Let others know how to reach you. They'll learn to respect the rules you set. Practicing verbal responses builds confidence. Write down a few sentences you feel comfortable using. Practice saying them in front of a mirror. Try them in small situations first. Observe reactions when you maintain distance. Those who keep demanding reveal their true motives. Those who respect you will adjust their behavior. Being unpredictable doesn't make you less human. It only lets you keep your power to choose. You don't need to explain every decision. You just need to live by your principles. Part 12. 3 Modern Machiavellian Principles. Principle 1. Don't give away the map. Don't reveal every plan or weakness. Your inner map is a tool for others. When you withhold information, you keep control. At work, keep strategies within a small group. Don't share goals before results are clear. In love, keep some privacy for yourself. Don't voice all desires at the first meeting. With friends, don't share every plan right away. Make others prove they're worthy of knowing. Principle 2. Silence with weight. Silence isn't meaningless avoidance. Silence is a tool to set the conversation's pace. Use silence to observe their reactions. At work, stay silent when criticized. Watch how your boss or colleagues respond. In love, silence allows reflection. It forces the other person to examine their behavior. With friends, silence reveals who's truly demanding. Silence can prompt others to self-correct. Principle 3. Absence is a message. Not being present is a form of communication. Absence increases your value upon return. At work, not always being available can carry weight. Don't show up just to prove you care. In love, absence prompts the other to adjust. It helps you avoid being taken for granted. With friends, absence shows you have boundaries. Absence works best when deliberate and measured. Applying these principles requires care. The goal isn't to hurt others. The aim is to maintain dignity and choice. Start small and observe reactions. Note the changes you see in relationships. Those who respect boundaries will stay. Those who don't will reveal their true nature. Iconize the 3 principles to remember them. 1 symbol for each principle is enough. Practice weekly to build habits. Which principle will you apply first? Part 13. Practice Guide. 7. 1-month exercises to become harder to manipulate. Begin a 1-month practice journey. Each week has a clear exercise. Keep a daily journal of your experiences. Write at least 1 sentence about your feelings. Week 1. Don't respond immediately. When receiving a message, wait at least 1 hour. Note the urge to reply right away. Goal: observe who values your time. Week 2. Respond with limits. When asked something personal, give a short response. Use polite, reserved phrases. Goal: observe who respects your sharing boundaries. Week 3. Set a clear boundary via message. State one thing you'll no longer accept once. Don't justify, just clarify the boundary. Goal: observe the reactions of those around you. Week 4. Practice purposeful silence. When tempted to explain, stay silent for 30 seconds. Observe the other person's behavior during the silence. Goal: observe who tries to fill the void. Week 5. Reduce sharing big plans. Don't share important goals with new acquaintances. Keep at least part of your private reserve to yourself. Goal: observe who actively seeks your information. Week 6. Schedule conditional help. When someone asks for help, set a condition first. For example, respond after they clarify their needs. Goal: observe who respects your conditions. Week 7. Test purposeful absence. Reduce presence in an unbalanced relationship. Observe changes in their behavior. Goal: observe who adjusts when you're absent. Each day, write a short journal entry. Note the trigger, your emotions, and reactions you observe. At the end of each week, review your notes. Compare whether behavior patterns change or not. After 4 weeks, evaluate overall. You'll see who respects you and who exploits you. Use the insights to adjust your boundaries next. This journey is about reclaiming your power to choose. Part 14. Behavioral Framework. Building a circle of positive influence. Building a circle of influence is a deliberate action. Start by listing all current relationships. Write down the names of family, friends, and colleagues. Note a brief impression of each person. Do they usually support you or exploit you? Who checks on you when you need help? Who only appears when they need you? Mark 3 relationship tiers on paper. The innermost tier is for very close people. The middle tier is for trusted individuals. The outer tier is for acquaintances and partners. Each tier has clear criteria. Intimate, those who know your boundaries. Trusted, those who respect your time. Acquaintance, transactional, everyday relationships. Evaluate who frequently crosses boundaries, who exhausts you without giving back, who consistently respects your limits, who is willing to change when you ask, who takes you for granted without asking. Based on the evaluation, list 3 people. Choose the 3 relationships that drain you most. These 3 are where to intervene first. Set 90-day goals for each relationship. Goals could include cutting interaction by half, or setting a boundary via a message once, or asking them to prove specific actions. Communicate changes politely when needed. If unsafe, make changes quietly. Observe reactions in the first 30 days. Note every instance they respect or ignore you. If they change, acknowledge and maintain the connection. If they continue exploiting, reduce contact further. Maintain a list of people you want to keep close. Increase time with those who respect you. Nurture relationships with mutual actions. Care for relationships with valuable presence. Try cleaning up 3 relationships in 90 days. Observe your energy before and after the change. You'll feel less drained in life. You'll gain space for lasting relationships. A clean circle makes setting boundaries easier. That's how you protect your time and dignity. Start today by drawing your circle. Write down 3 people to address in 90 days. Small actions today create big differences. Part 15. When others react, handling challenges, guilt, and mental attacks. Others will react when you change. They may attack with feelings of guilt. They say you're ungrateful or ruining relationships. They may use memories to borrow sympathy. They bait with emotional words. They make excuses to delay accountability. They say you've changed too fast. They call you selfish or cold. Some will try to make you feel guilty. Some will increase pressure to make you back down. Some will weave in fake apologies. Their goal is to make you drop your boundaries. First strategy, keep responses short. 1 sentence is enough to clarify your stance. Don't explain too many reasons. Long explanations give them a new map. Short responses let you control the pace. Second strategy, avoid public arguments. Public disputes make things bigger. Move the conversation to a private setting. In private, you can adjust your words. Avoid noise because you want lasting results. Third strategy, redirect the topic smoothly. Change the subject to avoid emotional traps. Use a different question to shift the trajectory. Ask them about solutions instead of accusations. Those needing to manipulate will ignore and reveal themselves. Fourth strategy, withdraw with dignity. Withdrawing doesn't mean giving up entirely. You withdraw to preserve energy and clarity. Withdrawing lets them face their behavior. Absence can be where they self-correct. Sample scripts for immediate voiceover use. Script 1, I hear you, I'll think about it. Script 2, I can't discuss this now, I need time. Script 3, thanks for the feedback, I'll follow up later. Tips for using sample scripts. Speak in a calm, concise tone. Don't respond with an accusing voice. Keep expressions neutral to avoid escalating conflict. Note their reactions for later analysis. When feeling mentally attacked, remember that guilt is a tool. You have the right to stay silent and think. The next decision is yours alone. Part 16. Transformation story, a classic example. Lena started like everyone else. She worked hard and was always ready to help. Colleagues relied on her whenever things got tough. Friends called her for late-night advice. Lena was praised for her kindness. But gradually, things became exhausting. She took on extra work that no one noticed. She skipped family dinners to meet deadlines. She heard apologies but kept helping as before. The feeling of emptiness grew clearer. Lena didn't see herself in that empty schedule. One evening, she got a late message. Another urgent work request came up. She felt her heart heavy with fatigue. That was the moment she started questioning. Lena noted every time she was asked for something. She saw a clear, repeating pattern. People only came when they needed her. They didn't check on her when she was silent. She realized she was becoming a resource. Lena decided to try a small experiment. The first week, she didn't reply to messages right away. She waited a few hours before responding. Some got annoyed and complained. Others waited patiently. She wrote down her feelings daily. The second week, she said no clearly once. She sent a message stating her boundary in writing. The initial reaction was pressure. A colleague blamed her for lacking enthusiasm. A friend called her selfish. She felt guilty for a moment. Then she remembered why she was changing. She kept the boundaries she set. She learned to respond briefly. She used short sentences to protect her private reserve. Those trying to exploit her tested her again. They raised demands to challenge her. Lena didn't give in like before. Some relationships faded quickly. A few went silent, then returned differently. Those who respected her boundaries began to stand out. They contacted her when they truly needed her. They checked on her without immediate demands. Lena's work became more stable. She had time for her own hobbies. Small joys returned to her life. She no longer felt empty so often. The journey didn't happen in just 1 week. At times, she felt discouraged and wanted to revert. But her notes helped her track progress. She saw data, not just emotions. Gradually, her inner voice grew stronger. She felt confident setting boundaries. Healthier relationships formed with those who deserved it. Exploiters revealed their true nature quickly. Lena learned that losing some relationships was the price. She gained respect and time for herself in return. Lena's story is a real journey. It's not perfect, but it has results. You can apply similar steps. Start with one small change today. Conclusion. The journey ends here, but a new one begins. You've seen yourself shift from being read to setting the frame. You've learned to keep a private reserve and set boundaries. You've learned to use silence as a purposeful tool. You've learned to respond briefly and with weight. Power no longer lies in speaking much. Power lies in the moment you choose silence. It lies in when you pause to observe. It lies in when you let absence speak for you. Change doesn't need to be loud. It happens through small daily actions. Every boundary you hold is a signal. Every time you don't explain is a lesson. Others will adjust if they respect you, and they'll reveal themselves if they only seek gain. Now it's time for you to act. Choose one habit to change first. Will you try not responding right away or setting a boundary? Will you try keeping a private reserve for yourself? Write that decision in your journal. Then share your results in the comments. Which habit will you change first? If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel. Like to support more content? Comment on your experiences. We read and respond. Watch it to learn how to respond smarter. Thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.